Hello everyone. Good morning. It's Kim here, and happy Easter to you, to all of you. So the pesky little, crazy little rabbit got into my studio last night or this morning and left me some goodies. They were strewn all over my studio, so I had like a little mini Easter egg hunt this morning, and I've already eaten a few of these. But yeah, that pesky little rabbit got in here, so I just thought I'd share with you and say thank you, Mr. Honey Bunny. But yeah, just a cute way to start my morning, definitely, and a delicious way to start my morning. So today is another episode of the Manitoba hauls, the things that I purchased when I was in Manitoba, things I was gifted, things I picked up for free, because yeah, I got some free stuff too. And so this is day 2 of this Manitoba haul. And as I said, it's going to be a few days before we get through all of this still yet. And so every day that I do this, I will, of course, make a draw from the day before. So it's really a good idea if you want to win something to leave your comment and like the video and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And watch every day, because these videos will be coming out every day and I will be drawing another name. So you know, I use the YouTube picker, one of those programs that automatically generates, and I don't bother filming it for the Thrifty Thursdays because it's just a bit of a pain to set it up. I film it when we're doing the big draws. But yeah, it picks a name out of how many unique comments I have, and sometimes, you know, if there's not that many people, sometimes you can win more than once in a row. So don't hesitate to comment, because I honor that. I don't care if you've won 3 days in a row. You've left a comment 3 days in a row. You deserve to win just like anybody else. So that's my little spiel on that. And the only other thing I'd like to say is that my personal friends, you know, I encourage them to also leave comments. And of course, that once in a while they're going to win too. And so when I do pick a personal friend, I always pick a second winner, because I don't want you to think that I'm favoring my friends. But, you know, I want them to win as well. So again, always leave comments, because you just never know. You might be one of my lucky ephemera winners. So today I'm doing a little bit of the fabric pile. And I think I told you already that I've kind of emptied my suitcases into categories. And then this way it was just easier for me to start putting stuff away as I did a video. I could put it all away. I didn't have to run all over the place. It was kind of more in one section of my studio. And there are some exceptions, because there are 2 boxes that I had mailed to myself that I haven't opened yet, and they will have a combination of stuff. And that one I will do by the box, or those 2 I will do by the box. But so today it's kind of about fabric, although there is some more linens coming in one of the next videos too, because there was kind of, I did fabric and then linen. So there is a combination of both there. But let's get started. So while I was at the scrapbook event with my gal pals, Thelma gifted me this beautiful, I don't know, it's like a cushion cover maybe. But look at all the bling on here. Isn't this gorgeous? It's so lovely. Now, she was saying, oh, you could make easily 2 tote bags out of this, but I don't know. I'm going to think on this one for a while. I'm going to kind of sit on it for a while, because, well, not really sit on it. I don't want to ruin the beads. But I just want to, you know, touch it and feel it for a while. So it's just going to go in that pile where I get to look at it every day. So thank you so much, Thelma. This is just gorgeous, just gorgeous. I love this one. There's a pattern underneath the fabric has a pattern underneath, and then they put a sheer overlay with I hope you can see that, with the sequins and beads on top. Really, really pretty. So I'm going to get a chance to use this one day, but not right away. I'm just going to enjoy it and put it in my precious pile. So that was that one. Thank you, Thelma. And then a while back, I don't know if you remember this lace dress. Thelma wanted it. It was a really nice retro lace dress with a satin underdress. I don't know how else to say. This is like it was like a little coat that went over top of the dress. And so she wanted it to do a photo shoot. I don't know if she ever did the photo shoot, but she gave it back to me, and I said, well, no, you were supposed to keep half for yourself. So she was quite surprised when I just took the scissors, just like she does, and I just cut it in half and gave it back to her. And I gave her the underdress too, because she kind of liked that part as well. It was a very satiny fabric, and I know she'll probably use it to make flowers and stuff. But this has some tulle underneath it as a base lining, and then the lace over top. There is a lot of this retro floral trim that I will take off of here eventually and use for something, because it's beautiful. And, you know, some bows and stuff. But there's a lot of this trim. So I got one half of the dress. I literally just took the dress and cut it right down the center. So she got a sleeve and the whole body, and I got a sleeve and the whole body, but only one side. And then she got the underside. So I got to take this back with me, although she should have brought it with her when she came. And then there was a sharing table, and I've shown you bits of it, but you didn't get to see what I pulled off of there ahead of time. I think you saw this, though, because I saw this after. This was just some red and cream-colored lace. I just found it so attractive, and so I brought this home with me. You know, I didn't take very much from the table. Well, I took a few things. I didn't take very much of the table, and I only found this after when I was filming, and it had been sitting there all day, so everybody had their chance to get it. And just so you know that anything that was left over, they have somebody that they found who makes craft kits for women that I think are in these shelters, abuse shelters. I'm not 100% what the cause is, but I know it has something to do with that. And so they pre-make scrapbooking paper journal kits for these women and for kids as well, because there's a lot of stickers and stamps and things that would be more suitable for children. So everything that's left over on those sharing tables does get used up and goes to a good cause. So I'm very happy about that. But, you know, I kind of had to snitch this. And then these were a few other little laces and things that were on there. Nothing really. I was going to play with this there at the scrapbook crop, but I just ran out of time. And then somebody took this off of the table for me. It's beautiful, isn't it? Isn't that gorgeous ribbon? Just love it. So that came home with me. And then there was this little piece. And I think Thelma had this. This must have come from Thelma, because I have a piece of this somewhere in my stash. So I will just add it to the red stash that I have. And then there was this little piece. This looks like a sleeve or something. Yes, it is a sleeve that she's cut off. This will be great for doing little snippets and little tiny trim things. Love the gold on top here. And then I think I have two pieces of this burgundy. Tell me, you cut all the sleeves off. Look at this beautiful trim. But she, you know, she takes what she wants from the dress, and then she puts the rest of the pieces on the sharing table. And, you know, when you find it, it's great for you, which, you know, I will certainly put this to good use. And then there's this royal blue one. And again, now this, I think is, yeah, it's the collar. So it's got these beautiful pearls on here. And, oh, it must be the back side, because there's the tag. So it's the back side of the garment, whatever it was. And then there's one sleeve. Here's one of those sleeves again, Thelma. And so lots of fun there. And then I think I have, yeah, there was just the buttons from on the dress, somewhere on the dress. So these are all things that I will harvest off of here. This sheer blue fabric, again, you know, it's great to use as something under when you're working and collaging. So it always gets used up, whether I'm making snippets or, you know, a snippet roll or something. I'll always use this stuff up. One day I'll have to figure out how I can put my sewing machine on my desk and show you how I do a snippet roll. I'm like a mad scientist sewing. So then I have this was a scarf I bought at a thrift shop, and it's a very fine kind of a coral pink. It's almost like a cheesecloth. And when I find these scarves, I use them almost the same as cheesecloth. So if I have a sharp enough pair of scissors here on the desk. My husband bought me titanium scissors for Christmas, and I keep them in the package, and I only use them when I'm cutting fabric. So because everything else I just ruin. But just to give you an idea, normally I would tear this, but there is a seam here. So I'll just cut the seam off. But just to give you an idea, I pull the threads and I distress it a little bit, and then I flatten it out again. And it's just like working with cheesecloth. So keep an eye when you're looking at scarves, because you'll find these thin ones. They also cut very nicely or tear very nicely into strips, which is again great for tying, having shabby ribbons, and that sort of thing. And you know, this is so fun to add into your book, your you know, onto journal cards and tags and things, just like you would use cheesecloth. So fun projects can be made from that. And I gave half of the scarf away to my friend Lori, because Lori is just getting into this and she doesn't want a lot of stuff. So I gave her a small piece to play with, but it also came with 2 rows of this lace. Now she got half the scarf, so she got this lace on the other end as well. And she got this fringe that was at the bottom. But isn't that beautiful? So keep your eye out for these scarves. They're, you know, I think they're coming out now because, you know, people have worn them and that was a style, and now we've moved on to something else. So you will see these in the thrift shops. You just have to watch for them. The only thing is, you know, because people have worn them, you often smell like their perfume or their body essence, or, you know, mixed with perfume. So you definitely have to wash these, you know, and sometimes when you wash them, they don't hold up so well. So if at least you can get the trim off and then use the rest for doing shabby, you know, snippets and stuff like that, you'll still be able to salvage it. But just to pre-warn you that some of them don't quite look the same when they come out of the wash. But certainly, I think I paid $1, or, you know, I wouldn't have paid very much more than that for this. Maybe $2. I don't know. I can't remember. And then there was another, this was a pashmina scarf. You know, I love my pashmina scarves, the cashmere. I love these very earthy patterns. This one I paid $1 for. It has to be washed. It has a very perfumey smell to it. But, you know, it's beautiful fabric to work with. I love the color combinations and the patterns in here. So we'll certainly use it in my journal making. And a lot of these fabrics, I back them with a piece of iron-on felt. And you can, I think they call it craft felt if you go to the quilting stores or the any type of fabric stores. You can also buy it online, you know, at Amazon and those kind of places. I'm not an affiliate, so. But yeah, you can buy it by the yard, and it's not inexpensive, but it's not super expensive. And you get a lot of mileage out of it. And I even keep the smallest of pieces to use you know, underneath something to use for slow stitching and stuff, just to give a little bit more dimension. But it's a great way to back this stuff. You know, I'll cut a piece 9 by 12 and iron it onto the back of this. And then it gives it a little bit of, you know, thickness, gives you a little bit of that pillowy effect. And then the craft felt can easily be either stitched or glued onto paper, because you don't have to worry about it seeping through to your fabric. So keep that in mind if you want to use stuff like this for books. Same with silky fabrics. You know, you find some really beautiful patterns in these silky fabrics, and they're not easy to apply onto paper or chipboard or anything that you're working with, because, you know, the glue seeps through, or, you know, it slides around on you. So if you invest in some of that craft felt, and I could show it to you, but it's just white felt, and you can't see that it has that iron-on component to it that you just iron it on with your iron. So keep your eye out for that as well, or invest in. And I think if you go to the craft stores, you can get as small as a 1/2 yard or a 1/4 yard. So a half yard would be what, 18 inches wide, which is perfect for doing, you know, for doing your journals. You'll definitely have enough width, and I think it's probably about 36 inches wide the other way. So that's like, you'd get quite a few books out of that for sure. So that's my little spiel on that. This one I couldn't resist. I can't remember who I was with. I bought this little I was with Thelma and Val, I think. It was $1.50, this little yellow dress. Isn't it cute? So it's got the lace layer, which I just love, and then it's got a cotton lining underneath. So lots of possibilities with this to take it apart and use it. It's a handmade dress, so it'll be easy to find the seams and take it apart, which I like. And yeah, it was just so sweet and delicate looking that I thought, you know, if I'm doing a spring project, this would be nice to do with some bunny images, sort of like a Peter Rabbit kind of journal. And I've been collecting stuff for doing a rabbit journal. Don't know when I'll do one, but I've just been all of a sudden intrigued with bunnies. I don't know why. It's my latest thing. Another scarf. Now, again, I don't know who I was with when I bought this one. Maybe I was with Sherry. Sherry's another friend of mine. Yeah, I don't know who I was with. But what I like about this one is it has two nice rows of this trim, and then it's a very lacy fabric underneath. It's you know, it's not the greatest fabric. It's a polyester of some kind, and it has a little bit of stretch to it. But it's still nice to work with for crafting. But there's a good like, this is probably 2 yards long. So that means there's like 4 yards of this lace trim because it's on both sides. And yeah, this will take nothing to run my seam ripper and just rip through. And then I'll still be left with the fabric that I can use as well. So again, $1, $2 at best. And or I should say $2 at worst. and this would also take very nicely to dyeing and staining. So possibilities there as well. Then, now, memory, if my memory serves me, let's see. I got these, now, that was, oh, I must have been with Sherry. I was with Sherry on this one. So I got a set of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because Sherry took a set of 6 of these round doilies. They are the vinyl. So again, going into my stash for staining. I can't wait to sit down and do that. The weather is warming up nicely because I want to do it outside, because then I can spread everything out and I can do lots at one time and it'll dry in the sunshine really quickly. But I'm waiting for my friend Thelma. Now, Thelma is coming soon to spend a couple weeks with me, and we're going to gallivant all through this province and maybe into a little bit into Nova Scotia and PEI. And we're going to spend at least one day when we do a regroup, because I'm sure we're going to have to every once in a while. We're going to do a regroup, and so this will be a project that we do at home for the day. So we will film that live. Thelma, I can't wait. And I bought some other stuff for this too, but I'll get to that in future videos. So yeah, we're going to have a day of paper staining, dyeing, painting, all kinds of things. So hopefully we can find a couple of good days to work and do all this stuff. We will do this all day long, I'm sure. I'll have to stock up on paper. Really. So this one, I don't remember. Oh, I might have been. No, I don't remember. I was at the Salvation Army. Oh, I was with Sherry on this one. My friend Sherry. Sherry is what I would call the mother figure, because she just turned 80 this year, and actually you saw her working on that junk journal, you know, the Bohemian Crafter does those beautiful folios. Well, she was kind of following her style and making that, and she is 80 years old, and she started junk journaling with me. One day she came in my shop and I had one sitting on the table and she just went, "Oh my God, what is that?" And that was it. We just hooked her right in. She just came right in. It was so easy. And she does amazing work. I will one of these days show you her. I've got a couple of her Christmas pocket journals that you would carry around in your purse to use for making your gift list and your food list and all that kind of stuff. And they are just gorgeous. So one of these days I will show you one of her journals. But yeah, I bought this fabric. This is a Sari scarf, definitely, although they always put these in the tablecloths. But look at the amount of material here. So this is going to get cut up into pieces, and I will have some of this for sale on my website. And where was it? The tag was here somewhere. I didn't pay very much for it. $1.99 for this. So yeah, these are just beautiful, beautiful fabrics. And it's a little bit silky, but just a nice quality fabric to play with. I'm excited to actually work in this one. And there's lots of it, but some of it will go for sale as well on my website. I'm creating two different piles here. So then this was another one. Again, I was with Sari. I seem to have such good luck with her finding these. Another, I mean, it's like a piece of material, but it was probably a Sari scarf that somebody used. And very glittery with the gold and the lime green. Love, love, love this. So there, again, I will keep some for myself, but I can't keep it all anymore. I've got way too much. So some of this will go for sale in my shop. And the prices on these things are going to be very good. I'm not, I want to make a little bit of money to pay myself back for some of the stuff that I buy because, I buy a lot. But the prices will be so reasonable that it will fall in your cart automatically because it'll certainly be worth it. And the pieces I will be cutting will be about 20 by 20. But if it ends up that the fabric, if I get a better cut because it's 48 inches, if I get a better cut that it goes to 24 inches, I'm not going to hold back a little strip. It's just not worth it. So you will always get the advantage of the cut, however the cut comes out of the material. So you're guaranteed at least 20 by 20, unless for some reason the fabric is only 36 inches wide. But one way or another, you will get a little extra. So if I have to do it 18 inches and give you 24, I would do it that way, but I will always cut that size of fabric. And the reason for that is then you can get at least 2 journals out of there and have lots left over for doing snippets and pockets and little embellishments as well. So I will make them quarter yards or how they say fat quarters. That's how I will be doing them. I've actually put up a few already on my site. This was another one. Now this one I was with someone else, I think. I don't remember. Now this one has a lot of this pattern along the edge. And it has a little bit of green on one side. It's not all green, just the one section. Well, maybe it's quite a bit. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it though here. Now this one I paid $5.99 for, so it was a little bit more. But I will again make some cut some pieces for my website to sell, and the rest will go into my stash for future use. But just lovely colors. It'll make a beautiful journal. And the thing is if you just enhance it with a couple of, jewelry embellishments, or you can hand stitch some sequins and beads on there, you can turn this into such an amazing piece to have as a journal cover. Now this one, I was with my friend Jim. Hi Jim, if you're watching. I doubt it, but Jim was a customer of mine for many, many years. And when he knew I was coming to Winnipeg, we decided to have a breakfast together. And then I dragged him into a couple of thrift shops. Now, if you knew Jim, he doesn't, he loves antiquing and he loves antiques, but he doesn't, in fact, he said to me, I don't think I've been in a value village in years, if ever. And he only knew of one value village in the city. So I dragged him to a couple of them, and he ended up finding a couple of good things for himself. So that was awesome. But then I found this yellow dress, and he just cracked up and he said, oh my goodness, are you going to wear that? And I said, no, but I'm going to cut it up and make it into something wonderful. So it's got these beautiful gold leaves and red flowers over top of this yellow satin. But just look at the pattern in this. So this is just so beautiful. I don't know what nationality this would be. It looks almost Spanish, maybe Mexican. I'm not sure. If anybody knows, please let me know. So that's the sleeve. The colors are amazing. And it comes with, all of this satin lining. Hey, Jennifer, you want a piece of this? She loves yellow. She loves bright colors. So we'll wait and see if she responds to my comment here. Jennifer lives in Moncton, which is not far from me, and we do plan to get together sometime soon. But yes, I'm going to cut this up. I don't know exactly yet what I'm going to do with it, but I'm thinking this will be part of tomorrow's project for dissecting fabric. I think this is the one I want to play with. So stay tuned for Monday's dissecting. I may do this and do something else with it as well. So that's it for my haul for today. And like I said, I do have a lot more fabric coming up, and it'll be in the boxes of stuff that I had found and mailed to myself. But I dropped the piece of paper on the floor. Here we go. So as I said, every day I'm going to be making a draw again for somebody to win an ephemera pack that I will send out to them. And so today's winner, there was 14 unique comments yesterday. So there was only 14 people to choose from for that picker. And the picker picked Linda McCarthy. Now, Linda, I have several Lindas. Well, I know Linda H65 is my mathematical Linda. That's how I call you, Linda, my math Linda. So I'm sure you'll get a kick out of that. But Linda, I don't know. I've seen your comments, I'm sure, but I'm getting confused because I have quite a few Lindas. So, I don't know if you've won before or not, but congratulations, you are today's winner. So please get in touch with me. As you guys know, I don't contact you. It's up to you. So if you don't watch the video, or if your best friend doesn't tell you, then not one, you got to change best friends, and two, you got to watch my videos. So yes, if once you see the video, leave a comment and get in touch with me through Facebook or however you can channel your way to me, because I leave you lots of information on how to find me. And yes, then you will win today's ephemera pack. So that's it for today. So tomorrow is Monday, and we will be doing dissecting a garment, and I'm going to start with this yellow one and go through some of the steps of how I decide what to do with it. And then Tuesday, of course, is our Techniques Tuesday. Yay! So lots of fun on board there. And there are way more haul videos going on all week long. So it's going to be a jam-packed, crazy week. So reserve some time for watching my videos. So please like, subscribe, watch the videos, and definitely leave your comments. So I wish you all a wonderful day today. It is a beautiful day for Easter morning, and it just is time for us to reflect and also maybe spend some time with family and do some Easter events and things, as well as maybe doing some chocolate egg hunting on the other side of that scale of Easter. So I hope you all can enjoy the day and reserve a little bit for crafting, and I will see you all very soon. Bye for now.